seen you shaking hands with so many government officials, government functions, and what exactly is your role just as Miss World Kenya once you're back in the country? What duties does it come with? Because, for some people they wouldn't know. They're like, she's been crowned, so maybe that's all she wanted. But what other duties does it come with?
So number one, it's being a representative of the youth.
Yeah.
As Miss of Women in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also at the same time trying to bring my best foot forward and show, bring issues to light, like my Beauty with a Purpose project and all these issues, to explain them to people. At the same time, I'm being a role model. I'm learning from these people. I'm asking them questions. They're asking me questions. They ask me what I've achieved in my life. I ask them what they think I should do, or what I think
can be done
can be done about XYZ. I mean, I remember we had met one of the ministers, and we sat for a few hours actually. We were discussing problems with the youth and what can be done to improve them. I talked to her about this my project, which is in Siaya, and I told her extensively about that, and they spoke about how how they need to add these issues to to the issues they have currently, because these are not just issues about women. It encompass no. Well, it's just children are also a huge part of these issues, and it's not just women. And there were a lot of other things we talk about, and it is my duty at the end of the day to do this, because I have this amazing platform, and if I will not use, I have to use this platform for something bigger than myself.
Yeah, and
because
impact,
otherwise
or just
it's just a waste.
Mm.
And then there's the fly.
Okay, let's talk. No, what's her name? Terry Mungai.
Oh, Miss Terry.
Yeah. So, how's your relationship? I mean, how much of an impact has she made just from that experience? Because I'm guessing like you were not friends before.
No.
Yeah. So like, just how influential, or how has she been? Like, just the whole process of just.
I'll tell you why I had enough guts to take part in all the 3 pageants I did.
Yeah.
And the reason was all 3 of them were being managed by women. For me, I've heard enough about the beauty industry to know the prostitution that goes on sometimes, the sexual harassment, and all the bad things. So for me, knowing that a woman was up there and there was a woman looking through all this, I at least knew I would be safe. I at least knew that I wouldn't face a lot of the other issues. And that for me was one of the reasons why I get the courage to participate. And when I had seen interviews of Miss Terry, how she started her whole saloon business as a woman, how the bank had refused her a loan because she was a woman, and they said, we want your husband's signature first, and she's like, if I default the loan, I'm the one who's going to come and pay, not him. And a lot of these things that they said resonate with me, because I'm a very strong feminist. I believe in women having equal rights, and I believe in women standing up for themselves and doing a lot of these things. So when I see strong women out there, I want to be part of these things that they are part of, these communities, these projects, because it makes me feel like I have this purpose much more greater than myself, and that I'm adding to something that is doing great things for women and for people out there. And for me, that was one of the reasons why I chose to be a part of Miss World Kenya. She was one of the reasons. I often tell her even that, I'd seen this interview of yours and everything.
So another question, just from something that you've mentioned, and you can talk about it, or if you don't want to talk about it, you can talk about it, right? It's something that you've mentioned, and it's unfortunate, but a lot of just girls in general who are in that model industry and stuff end up in the dirty, like, just industry of prostitution,
or sponsors
and all those things. And it's just like, I don't know if it's they encourage themselves to do that, or they're misled, or they're taken advantage of. Because I'm just thinking, like,
all of those, everything you said, all of those.
Because if you're like 18 and you qualify for participating in such like a beauty pageant and stuff, like, according to the government, you're entitled to make your own decisions. But like, there's a huge chunk of girls, not apparently or allegedly, we all know, and even some contribute to the boosting of the sex tourism. Apparently now we are top 10 somewhere in the world, because
yes, there is.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, because it's we have the beautiful girls who that's the only thing they have to result to.
The first NGO I had approached and worked with for a while was to do with sex trafficking
Yeah.
and human trafficking.
Yeah.
And because that was very close to my heart, I'd actually met a girl who was being imported, and so that she was literally treated like a commodity to be exported somewhere else for sex trafficking. And I watch a lot of documentaries, and all this angers me a lot. But
Yeah.
I've learned that I'm no longer going to be angry about this. I'm actually going to
Do something. Yeah. Do something about it.
It happens because of one, people have they're conditioned. They're told that, but they throw off names like every famous person, or every whatever you want to become, like she did this, so you have to do that.
Yeah.
The problem is that men are the ones who are holding the reins in these industries, and then they do such hideous acts, and it's very, very disgusting, for no better word. But it's a shame, really, because all these women are made to feel like, first their self-confidence is attacked, then they it's a process. It's conditioning. It's making them victims. It's making them feel like it's dehumanizing them, because they want to see these women as items or commodities, and that is what is a really huge issue right now. And that's why I usually try and encourage more women to take up these roles, because frankly, people don't realize, but women taking up these roles not just help other women in just that, I have a role model to look up to, but it also helps in the fact that women like me, we feel more secure. We feel like, we can do a few things, because there's a threat. There's always an underlying threat. Whenever a woman is going for a job interview, she's always also mentally prepared for any unethical or any
sketchy approach.
Why should that have to happen? But now if I know I have an interview with the lady, I'll go so much more confident and so much more comfortable, because I know, that is not going to happen, So that kind of a thing. But it shouldn't have to be that way. We shouldn't have to have a woman there, so that every time a woman comes in, she should have to see another woman to feel safe. So it's the industry that needs to to change.
Yeah.
And for that, it is, people like Miss Terry or any one of you out there. You too, you all need to do your bits.
I'm playing my part with the podcast.
Do more. Never be
No, that's
content.
not enough. That's not enough.
It's never enough.
But then again on that just subject, before we finish up on that, a lot of people are saying like these women are putting themselves in these situations and they're in control of saying yes or no. And because like right now, the way you're talking about, it's men taking advantage of these young women. But if you go like on Instagram right now, the Kenyan climate is everybody, a majority of successful young women, you'd see them portraying that it's good to have a sponsor. It's good to, like almost like selling yourself in exchange for a certain lifestyle.
I remembered my question.
Hold on. Yeah. And then before I just finish, because I know I'll also forget. You'll forget, but I know I'll also forget.
No, it's okay.
Oh my God, and there it goes. I'm almost forgetting. Finali, thanks for doing this.
No, women sponsors celebrities on Instagram?
And everything. So a lot of women who are in good positions, are modest, and are preaching something else, are not very vocal about it, because you see, like for you don't talk about such issues maybe on your Instagram, but you'd pick like maybe a socialite who's out there, they're posting videos constantly about this lifestyle, and all that the young girls get to see every single day is